Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I was just thinking we could pass the time making some prank calls. Best one buys drinks, okay? Place the body bag case here. There's no advantage of shooting civilians. Stay pro, man. 2-3 over here. That blueprint you found will find the rail car with a turret. You might be able to find an access card somewhere to speed things up. Guys, get into those cars and find the one with a turret. We can hack open a train vault if you plug that hard drive into its security panel. We're past the first lock. Now let's see what's inside. That's the ordnance, but it's not the turret. Get in before they
Ow.
hit.
Bliss gets on base again.
Right, I'm in. These guys aren't messing around. Lots of additional firewalls.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me.
One of their security buffers just kicked in. Disconnected.
Okay, go away, dude.
All right, I'm back in. They've blocked me. I need you to disconnect their security buffer.
Really? God damn. Wait, can I get around on this end? No.
Civilians can do a lot of good for you as long as you got them under control. Wait, doing okay there? Stop calling me all the time. Oh, I called you? Well, there was nothing.
The hell? What did they see? Oh. This asshole.
Got a body bag case here. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm fucked. And we should be doing campaign stuff right now anyway. So, let's get back on the career. Pretty sure Henry's Rock is loud only. Oh my goodness! You got it. All right. There we go.
Henry's Rock. Every crackball conspiracy theory you ever heard about classified scientific experiments and corporate occult rascality gathered in one facility. Locke says that Murky Water's top men are up to some rather Defense, this is going to be a tough one. The Kataru have stepped up their pursuit of Bane's stingers, and we've got to take away their toys, yeah? The warehouse we're going to hit is the most important Murky site there is, and they're working on some very strange projects. They only let me near the place. Remind me again why we're doing this? Fortune and glory, kid. Right. I'll take the first, but you can keep the glory. Maybe we'll find out what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. All things considered, I'd rather be going back to Vegas.
The last campaign mission we did was a massive pain in the ass.
This one's for Bane, yeah? Wait. Sorry, friend. Looks like we didn't get you in clean. The place is on alert and locked down. You've got to find the security boxes that control the doors and run a bypass on them.
What's up?
Alright, what's up? So I'm not going to be streaming for super long in all likelihood, but I do want to do a little bit more of the Payday campaign. This last campaign mission I did was the worst mission in the whole fucking game. And I'm ready to move past that.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I've been getting a lot of use out of that video today.
A classic.
Spicy.
Oh.
The question for me becomes, will I maintain the patience to be able to grind this out?
What? Calling people mean words on X?
Oh,
You
I've
definitely
always
have
got
the patience for that, yeah.
Exactly. No, what I'm trying to do is farm these crates that drop cosmetics that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you farm them is by doing dailies. So I'm like, I've got 15 characters. Do I have the patience to do dailies enough to get like 30 of these crates? I've already got 7. But I'm like, I don't know. I might just get fucking obscenely bored halfway through.
Yeah, we all been there.
Yeah. Because you know how it is when you're doing a daily, it's the same mission. Like, can you do the same, like, 7 missions 15 times?
I've done things like that before, but I was much younger when I did it.
Right. Same here. You know, when Star Wars The Old Republic launched, I was in college the first time. And when it launched, I was so excited to play it that between playing it and classes, it actually ended up being the longest amount of time that I'd ever stayed up without sleeping. I stayed up for 74 hours. like I can barely stay up for 24 these days.
Right.
Because I mean, like, yes, I could do it, but you just feel so much more miserable.
That was in underneath his tree.
And then, you know, way it feels with all this stuff, it's like as you're getting older, when you're in your 30s, it's not that you can't do the stuff that you did in your 20s. It's that now it bothers you to do it. Whereas before you didn't care. Now you're like, oh man, what a fucking waste of time.
When I was a teen, I remember getting 1,000,000 criminal points in Vice City, and there's only one way to do it, and it's literally the most tedious thing imaginable. I basically did the same thing over and over and over for 3 straight weeks of basically just playing it every afternoon, every day. But I did it just to do it, even though I didn't get anything for it. It's just like, oh, you've reached max rank in criminal points, which I think is something they put in the game thinking that no one would ever do it because they made it impossible unless you used one particular exploit that still took almost a month.
Yeah, perfect example.
Oh, did you see the thing with the Mets pitcher the other day?
No, whatever.
So a Mets pitcher was pitching in a game. I can't remember who they were playing, but there was a check swing, and the third base ump ruled that the batter didn't go. So the pitcher got really pissed off. So he got ejected from the game, and while he was walking off the field, he threw his glove into the stands. And after the game was over, they interviewed him about it, and he was like, no, I don't regret doing that. I don't, it's not a big deal. And then, like, half an hour after that interview, he got DFA'd. Pretty funny.
That is spicy.
I mean, I really don't think it's a big deal to throw your glove into the fucking stands, but it's a little embarrassing, maybe. It's like when Dirk punted the basketball into the stands. Remember that?
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
I remember one time, Shaq, after a whistle got blown, he went for a dunk. Just as one of those, fuck it, let me dunk the ball just for fun. I genuinely have no idea how the fuck he did this, but he blew the dunk. And he slammed that ball down on the rim so hard that it fucking shot up into the fucking rafters. And I think they had to use a new ball because they just like lost track of it. And I'm like, that's a great example of just like some weird shit happening, but everyone's just, you know, whatever. And I'm all like, that to me, you know, you could easily sit there and say that Shaq was pissed when he did that. Because Shaq was almost always pissed off about something. Dude had a huge ego problem. But of course he's Shaq and, you know, not some guy. Yeah, I see what the problem is like the guy shouldn't have done that because he hadn't, you know, earned his fucking stripes yet. If he was a guy that is like, okay, you know, he's untouchable and all that kind of shit. I mean, think about, you know, some of the bigger assholes that we've had in the history of the league. Not just throughout all time, but like just in the last couple of years. You know, like fucking Madison Bumgarner ended up getting the name Mad Bum because he was butt mad all the fucking time because it's like constantly pissed off about everything for no reason.
Or what about the time when Frank Vogel called LeBron
Yes, that too is an excellent example. You know, I mean, clearly that has just been bubbling under the surface ever since he accidentally let him have an uncontested layup. He had just been waiting 10 years to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Find anything useful nearby to use on a gate?
Did you like the Russell Wilson story I sent you?
Oh, I haven't read it yet. My bad.
Open that gate.
I knew there was something I forgot to do.
If you don't bring one, you have to find one. Like tools, that
Oh man, please tell me this ends with peace face on a shirt.
I couldn't get it to do that without directly telling it to. But
Oh man,
find a tool, then open the crate.
that would have been pretty great.
I think it became a symbol of the city's resilience and its refusal to shy away from the truth. Ah! Oh my god, that's outstanding.
Be something in the area you can use to open that crate.
Oh, Frank.
Get ready. We got cops on the way.
If you don't bring one, you have to find one. Like tools, that is.
Shield.
Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Real.
You got more lawmen coming for you in 30 seconds. Find anything
You would
useful
also
nearby
have
to
accepted
use on a
Scat
crate.
Pride.
20 to go. Anytime now.
Got it. Tony Montana killed that thing.
Now, friends. Get the crate open, friends.
Like, you were trying to be the hero, but at the end of the day... The most unrealistic part about that story was that LeBron said he wasn't bothered by Chuck calling him that.
For real.
If you don't bring one, you have to find one. Like tools, that is.
So, how's your weekend so far?
Okay, I'm just
Go ahead and take the
extremely
box,
bored.
friends. Keep the kettles away from it, yeah? Looks like that box is heavy, yeah? There's a conveyor
Spend your
belt in the
life
very
just
front area that leads back to the loading
waiting.
dock through the mountains. Throw it on there and let it
It's
do
too
the
good.
digging for you.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the little kid in The Incredibles. What are you waiting for? Something amazing to happen.
Move the box to the entrance with the conveyor in the central hub. Yup.
I love that fucking Photoshop of The Incredibles. What are you waiting for, kid? I don't know. Hitler too, I guess. Me too, kid.
Use the conveyor in the central hub to ferry the box. I got the taser. No need to carry that artifact around. Just put it on the conveyor. You've got to go back and check the mainframe again for the second artifact. Make it fast, yeah? Every fucking dead!
What were you fucking thinking?
Oh man, it's a shame that Chris's old videos are like impossible for me to find now. I loved that that one mashup he did of the Sundare girl
Yeah, I know what
with
you're talking about.
El Prestador. That's the one I always think of every time I think of El Prestador. Think Frank Vogel is pie 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 Frank Vogel. That was outstanding.
What the hell were you thinking? I wonder what Frank Vogel was thinking when he took Hibbert out of the game. Was that like a Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Boris Diaw type thing?
That's my belief, because while Bosch hadn't nailed the game winner in Hibbert's face earlier in the season like he did with Duncan, Bosch had very clearly become the essentially the prototype for what big men in the NBA are now.
Get down! I said down!
Think we got gate crashers coming.
I guess he figured there were only 2.2 seconds left and there was no way that LeBron would be able to get to the hoop that quickly.
Oh, okay. Hank Vogel did an interview where he was talking about why he did that. The reason he did that is because it was a defensive possession, and Hibbert had 5 fouls. He was concerned that if Hibbert defended LeBron attacking the basket like he ended up doing, then he'd pick up his final foul. And the reason that's relevant is because Hibbert was balling out offensively. Like, the Heat were completely incapable of stopping him from scoring. That's what got him such a big, heavy deal, is because he looked unstoppable against Miami's front court. So because of that, with the game being as close as it was, especially in overtime, he was thinking, getting the ball to Hibbert, especially with limited time left, so we call a timeout and then we're looking at a tip-in, that's basically a guaranteed bucket. Hibbert's the tallest guy on the court.
Mhm.
But if he fouls out here, we're fucked. So that's why he said in the interview, he was like, I just didn't want Hibbert to foul out. I wanted him to have the opportunity to get the tip in, win the game.
The idea of Roy Hibbert being an offensive weapon is hilarious now. Well, who was the Heat starting center those years? Was that Joel Anthony?
Yes, because the Heat were very reluctant to actually play Bosch at center, because it was exhausting him. So usually what they were having is like a rotation of Joel Anthony, whoever the fuck else we'd have on the bench. At times it was Eddie Curry, for fuck's sake. But that's NBA champion Eddie Curry, so don't talk shit. Of course, in 2013, Birdman, but I believe Birdman was either hurt or he was similarly in foul trouble. Yeah, that was another thing. Birdman really was struggling defending Hibbert. At times, Haslam was playing center even, because they were just scraping the barrel. But Hibbert, for that series at least, Hibbert seemed unstoppable. Sometimes that happens where a guy just out of nowhere has a series of his life.
I always think of Birdman as a power forward, but yeah, I guess he was a center, especially on that team.
Yeah, I mean, picking him up is what led to the streak.
Yeah, Birdman was awesome that year. I loved Birdman. It was like they ordered him off eBay just in time for the postseason.
And the reason we picked him, like the whole league was pissed that we got him because of how good he was for us. But they rewrote history when it comes to that kind of thing. The reason we got him is because nobody wanted to touch him because he was being scammed, and they were blackmailing him to try to make him look like he was a pedophile. Now, he ended up not only exonerating his name, but he cooperated with the FBI to help nail the bastard who was blackmailing people, because it wasn't just Birdman this guy was targeting. But he worked with the FBI to nab him in a thing. But all people heard is that, oh, he's being accused of this kind of thing. Like, imagine if Josh Giddey was like a super good player, but he was also not on a rookie contract to where the Thunder could have just cut him when those rumors came out. And then no one touched him. And then, like, the only team that was even willing to pick him up was, like, Boston. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Why has Boston got this fucking Josh Giddey guy who's making it rain threes all day? What the fuck? Why didn't anybody else pick this guy up? It's like, well, you should probably ask the teams that believe bullshit the moment that an accusation drops without even bothering to conduct an investigation first.
Right.
And I guess that's just because no one wants to end up looking like the Patriots over the Aaron Hernandez thing.
Mm-hmm.
You should be looking for recipes, friends. Well done, dear friend. Take advantage of these few seconds of calm, yeah?
Hey, look at that, man.
You need to get through that door, friends. Coppers just freed another civvy.
Let's pick a good spot to dig in and hold the fort.
This is the time of the year that I hate the most, aside from the fact that it gets really hot. The sun didn't go down yesterday till like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's starting to get that way here too, although it doesn't really hit us until July.
I'm like, man, I hate sun.
You should be looking for recipes, friends.
I never saw nothing like that. Not even in Cuba.
20 seconds, friends. Come on, friends. You need to get mixing.
I don't know if you watch every Review Bra video, but a little bit ago, I think like earlier this week or maybe late last week, posted a video reviewing the new cheeseburger melt from Pizza Hut, and his level of disgust is like nothing I've ever seen before.
You've intrigued me. I gotta check this out.
Like, I have never seen Review Bra so disgusted. Man, Miller is cooking.
Are you also watching Reggie Miller's cameo on Food Network?
No. That was pretty
Oh.
good, though. That was pretty funny.
It's just fuck. Oh, my cat just kicked me in the balls. Oh god.
Are you sure that's a cat and not like a Pumba? A Puma?
Jesus Christ. Oh man.
Was it like the picture with Shinji and Asuka?
No. He was just trying to hop down off my bed, so he used my groin as leverage. Oh man, that hurt. Oh.
Like being kicked in the balls.
Alright, I'm better now.
They want to pick a fight. We'll give them one they won't soon forget. Sniper is fucked.
Yeah, because that's...
Anytime now. Cuck out of them. Good. Now grab that box and get out before whatever that thing in the tank is wakes up. Great job, Fred. That's both boxes. Head back to the entrance so that I can get you out of there. And take the boxes from the conveyor end at the entrance. They should be waiting for you, yeah?
This is Tua's fault.
Okay. Still got a box on the conveyor.
But the Marlins... Remember that Grok story I wrote where Shinji was a Marlins fan? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Shinji, we think you need to take a break from baseball for a while. It's not good for your mental health. But the Marlins... Come on, Shinji, don't be a wimp.
You still have to take the boxes from the conveyor.
Shinji looks up at Asuka, his eyes filled with sadness. Maybe if you didn't support such a garbage team, you wouldn't be so depressed. Shinji's eyes begin to water as he feels a wave of embarrassment wash over him. Suddenly, his hairline starts to recede at an alarming rate, leaving a noticeable bald spot on his forehead. Oh, God, that's fucking amazing.
Oh, did Rayleigh get up? Yes, he did. Nothing to it. I like how nobody seems to really care how mean Asuka's being. For no reason to Shinji. Unless Asuka's a Phillies fan or something.
Even worse, she's a Braves fan. Bandwagoning.
Dude.
I loved when Brock was doing that fucking Russell Wilson story. I started saying that he was united. Even though it was controversial and uncomfortable, it was the truth nonetheless. Oh man, that's good.
You still have to take the boxes from the conveyor. All right. Oh, bloody. Those guns will make short work of fire if he tries to land now. You need to take
You've probably already seen this, but I just sent it to you.
Yes, I have. As you can imagine, a lot of the people that I follow on Twitter had something to say about it, specifically a 6-letter word. But what I had to say about it is, I'm like, look, if you're gonna be mad that Caitlin Clark is getting all this attention, you should try being better at basketball. Have you considered that? Like, she's getting attention because she's good and she's attractive. But she's not the only attractive woman that's ever been in the WNBA. I remember when Candace Parker was being drafted, and there was a lot of hullabaloo over her because she did look really good when she was getting drafted. But Caitlin Clark is, well, in addition to being white, which is going to get a very large amount of people to support her regardless, Caitlin Clark is also much better than Candace Parker was.
Yeah. I think it's very clear that if things go as expected, she will become the greatest WNBA player of all time.
Right, because I mean, there's not a whole lot of competition as it is right now. You know, you got Reggie Miller's sister. I forget her name, but some broad who like led a dynasty on the Minnesota WNBA team, and of course Brittany Griner. But Brittany Griner's practically cheating because the only reason that she was so good is because she was like half a foot taller than anyone else in the history of the WNBA. Like 15 total dunks in the history of the WNBA, and like 13 of them are Brittany.
What if the Indiana Fever get some kind of enforcer to start protecting her during games? They get some like Serbian woman basketball player on their team.
It'd be amazing. You know, it'd be even funnier is just get somebody who's like completely ridiculous to just identify as trans just long enough to like defend the franchise, you know?
Yeah. Her name could be Samela Haidasi.
Yeah, there. Oh man, tremendous. So that's what happens if you send your daughter to art school. Having my daughter get fucked.
The bulldozer's gone to fucking hell. Bastard Taser is dead. Don't worry about the sniper no more. Get out of here.
Secure the boxes on the helicopter.
mean, how much money is Caitlin Clark going to be responsible for those people making? Like, they're going to be making 4 or 5 times as much money in a few years, probably, because of her.
Exactly. Like
It's bizarre.
the way I look at it is like I look at it like professional wrestling. In professional wrestling, Hulk Hogan was not a very well liked dude as a dude, but everyone wanted to work with Hulk Hogan, even though he was basically despised by everybody who was a wrestler because he was the best in the business at manipulating things to make sure that he would be the one who'd be coming away from it the best. It didn't matter because if you were working on the same card as Hulk Hogan, you were going to make more fucking money because more people were going to buy a ticket, more people were going to buy the pay-per-view, more people were going to watch and spend money. And with a larger growth means you get a larger percentage or you get a larger amount of money because you just get a percentage of the growth. So if you're the guy that gets to take home 6%, you'd much rather have 6% of 100,000 than 6% of 10. And it's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. It's like she might not be on your team. You might even hate her because she's white, and you don't think that a white person should be the best at basketball because this is your thing, and blah blah blah. But like you're the one who's been bitching that you make like $200,000 a year for so long, and now she might actually be responsible for you guys having 7-figure contracts. This is the fucking WNBA renaissance, and you should be treating her like she's the fucking chosen one, and everybody should want to be talking about like, even if they hate her, even if their team's a rival with the team that she's on, they should be trying to build into that shit and be like, I'll tell you about Caitlin Clark. When my team plays against the Indiana Fever, we're going to show Caitlin Clark we mean business. We're going to show her that, she might be the queen of this league someday, but her time hasn't come yet. Like, talk her up, even while you're talking yourself up, and make it look like fucking she's a big deal. More
Mm-hmm.
people will pay attention. More people will spend money. You will make more money. Which is why I said, most of the people I follow on Twitter only had one thing to say about it. Because how could you be so fucking stupid as to think that it's good for you to beat the crap out of her?
Are you still trying to find a way in? Stay focused. If you patch me into the security boxes to the...
Come on, bloop, bloop. Yeah, baby.
Okay, so we're going to Salem and steal the artifact from the fancy rich Dwanky party right before the auctions.
Now let's get rich.
You need to find a way around the metal detectors at the entrance.
Better you do this.
Wondered about this before. What if there was a WNBA team that decided, hey, we're going to just suck ass. We're going to be terrible. We're going to get a bunch of gymnasts. We're going to get a bunch of female gymnasts to play as a team in the
I love where
WNBA.
this is going. I
But
love where this is going.
they're all beautiful. But they lose every game. They get fucking destroyed because they suck and they're tiny. And like every team in the league just has a massive size advantage on them. But they were all made up of like really attractive women. Would that team draw more attention than a typical WNBA team?
Unironically, yes, and I'll tell you why. The lingerie league gets more average viewership than the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta find a way in.
And legitimately, that's a joke league. There's no real competition going on at all. It's mostly just former Playboy bunnies who were too old to actually continue getting modeling jobs. Retired porn stars.
Mm-hmm. I've heard those women get paid a significant amount of money too.
They do, because again, when the league makes more money, you get paid more. So what does that tell you? When more people are spending money on that shit than the WNBA? No one cares about actual genuine athletic competition between women. Because if they cared about the love of the game, they'd rather just watch men because they'll do it better.
Boxes. I can unlock them from here. You're looking for 2 points of access.
I mean, the vast majority of the viewership for the WNBA at any given time is usually just people who want to see their team win. So they tune in when their WNBA team is good. But since there's only like 8, that's not a hell of a lot of opportunity for anybody. I know the Seattle Storm usually have really great attendance and viewership because there's no Sonics anymore.
Yeah, and they've traditionally been a good team.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's an insanely fucking stupid concept. And it's impossible to feel bad for them because they get the opportunity of a lifetime where Caitlin Clark is the golden ticket.
Can't unlock the doors until you patch in properly.
Everybody should be talking her up. Everybody should be wanting to be like, I'm gonna go up against Caitlin Clark and blah blah blah. But they should be looking to protect her as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody should be looking to try to hurt her because that would be horrible for the league and for all of their paychecks and bottom lines. Imagine if LeBron, like one of the years where he was most loved, like before he went to Miami, or anything like that. Imagine if somebody just Cobra Kai kicked his knee and he had to miss like 2 years. That would have been terrible for the league.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell that they're not serious because they don't care about the opportunity to make money in that regard, and they don't see that this is their opportunity to make. It's like this is a fucking layup. How do you fuck this up? Like,
You're
Mm-hmm.
right on time. The auction hasn't started yet.
Like, okay, granted, the girl I'm about to mention is actually much taller than average, but if Olivia Dune played WNBA basketball, I'd probably watch the WNBA. If she played for the Storm, I'd watch Storm games.
right, like your idea with gymnasts. I would not say gymnasts because gymnasts are definitely very pretty, but like you said, in order for a gymnast to be successful, she has to have a much smaller body than usual.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see a lot of successful adult female gymnasts. Usually, the one that people care about is watching teen girl gymnastics before they've really gone through puberty, because then their body is so much smaller and more lithe, and they're capable of doing more extraordinary things. As their body grows, they're heavier, so they don't fly around like a fucking human baton anymore.
Yeah, Olivia Dunn apparently is like 5'7", so I don't know how she's such a good gymnast, but she is,
The metal detectors should be down now.
I think, one of the most famous
Yeah.
athletes in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely dime piece. But I would have said lady volleyballers.
That works too. They might actually be good at basketball, though.
And that's why I brought them up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, well, gymnasts are very beautiful, and of course, the whole flexible thing is going to turn a lot of guys on. They're going to suck at basketball
Mm-hmm.
because they're like 2 or 3 feet shorter than the other girls out there that are actually trying to win. Plus, they're not going to be any kind of skilled or coordinated at actually trying to do it. Volleyball, though, different story. Plus, and my favorite thing about lady volleyballers is they have to actually be attractive, because you never see an unattractive lady volleyballer because Who the fuck's gonna send an ugly broad out there when the uniform is literally a bikini?
Right. I know you've said before that you actually think the most attractive female athlete is like a marathon runner.
Well, not the marathon runner, the sprinter,
Mm-hmm.
because the sprinting is an anaerobic exercise. It requires more muscular explosion rather than endurance. It's about quick, powerful exertions of force. So when you look at Olympic sprinters, for dudes, and running backs are a great example because what is being a running back? It's just running sprints. You're not an endurance runner. You're a sprinter. And same with wide receivers also. You look at those guys; they're fucking yacked. Absolutely, those guys are yoked to the gills. But when you look at professional marathon runners, they are like rail thin. You know, they're fucking Kenyans that look like Holocaust victims and shit like that. So that's what it is when you see like a female sprinter is going to have very well developed and muscular legs. And I'm an ass man, so that's what I'm all about. And yeah, then volleyballers are another good one if she's the not one of the setup girls, but like one of the attack girls where she's focusing on spiking after somebody else lobs the ball up for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because then what she does is she has to running through the sand is extremely difficult to do, which is why Navy SEALs have such a tough training as they go running on the beach. And you know, a professional lady volleyballer, she's got to run through the sand and then jump high into the air off of sand. That's very hard to do. You got to be insanely strong to be able to do that with the motor control necessary to actually be able to play a professional beach sport. Oh yeah, all that aside, you got to be genuinely mentally retarded to fucking think that it's a good idea for you to try to attack Caitlin Clark. Like, I get being jealous, I get being mad, but holy fuck. That's just retarded.
Oh, 1 second.
There are metal detectors all around the entrance. You'll need to get around them.
Yeah, I'll wait here. I'll be ready when things go crazy.
Alright, I'm back. Only for a little bit, though. Since this game is a
That's
complete blowout, we're probably just going to start the movie early. I mean, if the Mariners lose this game now, we don't want to watch the rest of it anyway, so...
Yeah, for real.
What about, like, you know, even female tennis players? Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. If you built a basketball team out of them, they probably wouldn't be any good, but more people would probably watch.
Yeah, and that's the stupid thing is the bullheaded insistence that they deserve to be able to make money the same way that the men do and to get paid the same, but they don't want to actually acknowledge how they're going to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, it comes back to not being serious. Like,
Watch out for spiders, yeah?
you know damn well that if you just actually listened to what people had to say
That torch's going to be
about
useful.
wanting to see specific things, it's the most basic rule of business. Ask yourself what your customer wants to see, and then do that. The NBA is successful because the customer wants to see his team being competitive and winning games and hopefully championships. And when a team is much better at winning than others, surprised they make more money.
With pepperoni, cheese, and mushrooms. Maybe a 6-pack of beer.
I'm sure that the Warriors have made a lot more money over the last 10 years than the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
But if, for some reason, let's say that, humanity loses their mind and they all become infected with the gay homo virus, well then what happens if what the customer wants to see is these guys playing in Speedos? Well, then they probably fucking end up playing in Speedos because that's how you make money.
Adam Silver would love it.
Exactly. So would LeBron. I waited my whole life for this. But but the if girls feel too objectified and all that kind of shit, yeah, they don't have to basically be fucking porn stars, but literally, if they just focused more on trying to be attractive.
You need to patch me in so I can open those doors.
For me, I think a great example is ladies MMA. Ronda Rousey was not the best by any stretch of the imagination, because Dana is an excellent businessman. He did a great job of protecting her image to make money off of her. So he protected her for a long time to make sure that she didn't fight people that she wouldn't be able to handle. She's not the most attractive lady in MMA, but she was way more attractive than the people who kicked the shit out of her, Holly Holm and Amanda Nunez. And some of the most, or one of the most famous female MMA competitors right now, she's not the most successful. She's not a title holder. She's not, fucking superstar. I forget her name, but I remember her nickname. They call her the Karate Hottie, and she's just a very pretty Asian lady who fights with a lot of kicks.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
She's above average as far as the UFC goes. But yeah, she's super popular because she's hot and attractive. Now, because MMA is still legit competition, then you're going to have someone who's very unattractive, like Amanda Nunez, that's going to dominate because she's good and it doesn't matter what she looks like. But Amanda Nunez, while she's popular because she wins, she's not as popular as like a person, and especially the casual fan, as somebody like the Karate Hottie, for very obvious reasons. I'm just sitting there like, why, if you wanted to make money, why would you just sit there and complain about it and bitch about it or try to pretend that it didn't exist? Why wouldn't you just acknowledge it, because that means you get to make money?
Because when you think about it, nobody questions it when it's in something like acting, right? There are women who are very attractive who suck at acting who still get roles and still do very well and are in very big blockbuster movies. And, no one wonders, I wonder why that's happening. Everybody knows.
Yeah. A great example, I think, is Tara Reid. She really came into her own as she got older. When she was desperate for work and she started, just being in anything. She ended up being in a lot of slop. ended up in that Sharknado movie, so she became like the queen of slop and like the female Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And she really came into her own and turned her acting career around in terms of being successful as an actual actor and having talent as an actor. However, the most success that she had in terms of how much money she made and the biggest star she was when she was young and she couldn't act for shit, but she was in a bunch of stuff because she was hot. You know, it happens. So either acknowledge that you want to make money and just lean into it, or stop fucking preaching to people this fucking hypocritical shit. So if you're going to be a woman and you're going to complain that you're not getting paid as much as the guys in the NBA, then the WNBA gets subsidized by the NBA because they fucking run at a loss year after year.
Minutes, the vault gets a new code.
Either get better at the game
Stop it.
or acknowledge that people would rather see you because you're hot and not because you're good. Put on some fucking makeup or something.
Come on, friends. Save those bullets for the girls.
Place the body bag case here.
Now you have to get inside the auctioneer's office and get the code. He should be carrying the keycard to it on his person.
Ouch.
Get down, asshole.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm gonna go get dinner later, but honestly, I'm still fairly
Well-
full from that burrito.
Where's my
It's looking-
burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
Unironically, that burrito was a highlight of my week, and that should tell you how fucking pathetic my life is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right. So that's gonna do it for the stream for now.
oh, alright.
I will be back later, but I got some stuff I got to do.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for coming out, guys. See you guys later.